So today we have to code for one-to-many association mapping. Let's create the account table, account class and account class and customer class. And then we are going to establish one-to-many association mapping using annotation. Remember the one-to-one that we are providing in case of one-to-one association mapping. Exactly likewise, we are going to use one-to-many annotation. Let's create the classes first, account class and customer class. In customer we have CID, CNAME, email and phone. Okay, and we don't have to mention foreign key in here. So this is only CID, CNAME, email and phone. CID, CNAME, email and phone. Let's create new project, Java project. And it is course code 7 to many association mapping. First, what we are going to do, we are going to build the paths. So we have to build every jar files so we can get annotation and hibernate APIs. In library, click on class path, add external jars. You will find all these jars in description. You can download it from there. Just select all, open, apply. That's all. Every jar is right now here. Let's create the class customer, class customer, and package maybe com.study. You can give any package. Customer. Here we are in customer. Private int CID. Private string the name and what is the name, email and phone. So email and phone. Phone should be of type long. Phone. Let's make it persistence class. So entity, and we want table for this class. Table name is going to be also customer, and then for CID we want it to be primary key. So by ID annotation it will become primary key, and then we have to provide generated value, generation value. It's generated. First we have to provide generated value. Strategy. In strategy it is going to be generation type auto. What this line is doing, with this line hibernate can understand then that hibernate should have to be provide value for this primary key column, which is CID. We don't have to provide the values for this primary key column. Then column, what column do? If we don't provide column annotation, then hibernate is going to create the corresponding column with this name CID. But suppose if we give apple right here, then hibernate is going to create column for this field CID with the name apple. So not apple right now, is CID. We want it to be CID. For this field we want column for CNAME. For email it should be email. For phone, it should be phone. Now let's create accounts table. Let's copy and paste it. Change this name to account, maybe accounts, and in accounts what we have, AID account and IFC code, AID account number and IFC code. So it is accounts, AID, account number, IFC code, and then what we have to do, we have to create new column, my customer. Why? Because we want to maintain foreign key inside the account table. So from account side, in account, we are going to maintain the foreign key, and it is going to be in relationship, that new column that we are going to mention right here, my customer. We are going to create my customer column right here, and that column should be, this column should be in foreign key relationship, the column CID, that is in customer. So CID is in customer. So how to do that? For that, we have to first mention customer right here, because we want to establish one-to-many relationship. So private customer, suppose cust reference. Now we want to use tags one to many, but this is wrong. Why this is wrong? Because one account cannot have many customers. What is right here? One account cannot have many customers. What should have to be right here is one customer belong to many accounts, or one customer can have many accounts, multiple accounts. So in this case, what we are doing is we are writing one to many, and one to many we are writing inside the accounts, but account cannot be one to many. Account, this is the account. One account cannot be one account cannot be one to many customers. So instead of that, what we are going to write is not one to many. Here you can see on top of customer, we are writing one to many. One account to many, but that's not the case. So what we have to write is many to one. Account is going to be many, multiple accounts, and multiple accounts are going to belong to one customer. So right here, because we are in accounts right now, we can't write one to many. We are in accounts and we cannot write one to many. We have to write many, because account is going to be many and multiple accounts are going to be for one customer. So one multiple means many accounts, many to one. So we are in accounts, so we have to write many accounts, many to one. This is what you have to write. And then what we have to do, we have to establish, or you can say maintain foreign key inside the account side. So for that, you have to use join column. Then you have to mention the column name, that is my customer, which is going to be new column, my customer. So this is going to be a column inside this accounts table. Why? Because we are writing this join column, and inside that my customer column inside accounts. This is why. And this is going to be get joined with the primary key of customer, which is CID. So you have to write the reference column name, which is CID. CID is the primary key in customer, and which is going to be with relationship, foreign key relationship with this column my customer, and this my customer column is in account table. My customer column is going to be inside accounts table. It is account side, and this is the customer side. Now let's create constructors. You always have to use one default constructor. This is best practice in Hibernate. Counts. Then we are going to create some parameterized constructor. Suppose not with AID. AID is going to get inserted with Hibernate. Let me create this, and then one constructor with also accounts. So at the time of when we are creating accounts, we can pass the customer to establish the relationship. So we don't have to load customer and accounts separately and then going to use setter method. Even at the time of creating with this constructor, we can pass the customer right here. So we don't have to use set customer account dot set customer method, which is setter method. Again, we want getter and setters. So something is wrong. Getter and setters. Okay. Okay, we created getter and setter before, so you can delete this getter and setters. So this is the constructor. Let's move this to right here, and then we want one constructor in which we also have customer. So here we have one customer, but we want one constructor then is not going to have customer. So we don't want customer and AID. Where it goes? So okay, here is the two constructors, and there is also one constructor, default constructor. Here we have setter and getters for IFC code, and for customer there should be setter and getter for these two. Okay, now we have all setter and getters, we have constructors, and we have our properties for which corresponding columns are going to get built. Now we want those codes that we are using again and again in every example, which is configuration. So let's copy and paste that. Inside this configuration, we have which class we are working with. You have to mention right customer and accounts. So one is accounts and another one is customer. AWCOUN TS accounts, and then we also want those methods that are helping us in order to load this hibernate configuration document and also to load the annotations. Let's create code because we want to insert data first. So it is create code we are creating. Let's delete this. Let's give main method because this code have to be run, and paste it right here. Delete these things. So what are these codes? What configuration line is doing? We are loading hibernate configuration document in CFG. Then with the help of configuration, we are building session factory. With that session factory, we are opening this session and we are beginning the transaction. So with this session, we are going to get save, load, delete methods. So now first we want to insert data inside the customer and tables. So for that, customer cust1 is equal to new, and is that in customer we don't have constructor. So first provide the constructor public. This is default constructor. Then we want some parameterized constructor, not with CID, only with this. We want some setter and getters. Select all, save it. Now we are going to have this constructor that is asking for CNAME. Suppose Raj at gmail.com. Phone number is this. Let's create another customer. Suppose Kumar. And Anwar. And suppose Ria, and then we want to save this customer in the corresponding table. So we are going to use session.save method, customer 1. This have to be customer 2, customer 3, customer 4, something is wrong. So we have created multiple customers. Now we also want to have multiple accounts. For that, let's create the accounts object. Accounts acc1 is equal to new. We are going to use, we can also use this constructor, parameterized constructor, in which we don't have customer, but we can also use this constructor in which we have to provide the customer. Suppose account number is BKID 55, IFC code is something like this, and right here something is wrong. string IFC code is of type string. So this is the IFC code. Session dot save accounts. Look what is going to happen here. In this case, even at the time of creating the accounts, we are giving the customer to it. At the time of creating the account, suppose this account is going to be get created, this particular row, and exactly at that time we are giving the customer. We are giving the customer right here. We are giving the customer, and this customer is right here. So Ria is going to have this account of account number BKID 55. But what if we don't want to provide at the time of creating the accounts? Then we can just remove this, because we have constructor in which we are not providing a customer at time of creating accounts. So what will happen in this case? This column, my customer, is going to be blank. Then in later parts we have to provide the values for this column using setter method. If we are not going to provide customer right here, then we have to load the customer and accounts first, and then with this account object, we have to use setter method, set customer. Then we are going to provide the customer that we have loaded. So we can even provide customer at time of creating, or we can update it later parts. Let's do one example with by providing at the time of creating. But this customer must have to be saved inside the table first. Suppose if we don't run this method, then this customer doesn't mean anything, because it is not present in the table, customer table right now. We have gone through this example before. You remember, whatever we are inserting in the column my customer have to be present in the customer table first. So for that, if we run the save method, then it is going to get inserted in the customer, and then in later parts it will get inserted in the accounts. So let's create some more accounts, and let's change, suppose IC, SBI, Canada, and also BKID, BK something 44. Just the random values, and we don't want to provide customer at the time of creating accounts. So remove this. We are only doing one example in which we are inserting customer exactly at the time when we are creating the accounts. So let's save also these accounts. What will happen if we are going to run? Then there will be 4 customers. There will be 4 customers, and there is going to be 5 accounts. 5 accounts in account table. Suppose there is going to be 5 accounts right here, 1 2 3 4 5, but only in one account there is going to be customer. So this corresponding field for these accounts is going to be null. These are going to be null. Only one account is going to have customer. So let's run the code. First, let's see is that there is any table available in the corresponding study. We are using study database right here. So we have to drop the table first. We created table, we use table. Now suppose so tables, there is no table, empty set. With the help of commit, everything will be inserted inside database. So let's run. Okay, you can see right here, create table account, create table customer, and then there should be alter table. Here you can see alter table accounts in which add constant. So inside account table, this is the account table, you can see here. Inside the accounts table, there is a constraint foreign key got added with the my customer column that is referencing CID from the customer. So where is foreign key got established? Foreign key is got maintained in the account table. You can see right here inside the account table. Then multiple data got inserted. Let's see. Load table again. Yes, we got account and customer. Then select star from customer. Here we have customers, 4 customers. Accounts or account. It is accounts. So in accounts we have 5 accounts, and in only one account in which we have provided customer. In one account at the time of creating accounts we have passed the customer. So for that particular customer is right here. So for we provided cust4 which is belongs to Ria. So the Ria is the customer. So for Ria primary key is 4 and that primary key got inserted right here. So by this we can understand that this account belong to 4 and 4 is this customer. But what we have to do in one-to-many association mapping is multiple accounts can belong to one customer. So also suppose maybe 8th account can belong to same customer, 4 customer. So for that what we can do, but before that let me show you something. So when CID or you can say primary key is getting created, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the table accounts it is starting from 5, 6, 7, 8. It is inside the customer it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and in account table it is not starting from 1, it is starting from 5. So for fix that it will start from 1 because it is separate table, it doesn't have to do anything with the customer in simple way if we are not establishing relationship. So this table must have its own CID. It doesn't have to precede with the CID, or it doesn't have to precede with the primary key that has left in the customer table. So for that, what we have to do, we have to tell hibernate in this line. We are in accounts. We are telling hibernate to generate primary key by itself. We are not giving value to it. So in auto, we have to use identity. You can also put identity right here, but it's not needed, because for accounts table, it is going to be unique. It is going to start from 1. You can also make this identity if you want. Identity. So what will happen in this case? It will start from 1 in both of the table. Let's drop the database, and we created database. What we did at the time of auto, when we are telling hibernate to provide values for this primary key, we just changed auto to identity. Now you can see, if we are going to insert data again, so table will be created soon. Everything got inserted. So customer have 1 2 3 4 primary key, and accounts also have 1 2 3 4 primary key. And for account 1, this account BKID 55, it belongs to 4th customer. So 4th customer is Ria. Ria is 4th customer that we inserted in this line right here, and then we pass this customer in accounts 1. So in accounts 1, we got this customer. But the main motive for one-to-many association mapping is one customer can have multiple accounts. So right now, one customer, which is 4, is having account 1. But we also want Ria customer 4 to have account, suppose 5. So 5th account also have to belong to the Ria. So for that, let's create the update code. Update. Everything is going to be same. What we have to do, we have to create these things, and then we have to load session dot load. What we have to load? We have to load accounts and customers. So we have to load customer first. Let's load customer 4. So customer dot class, we have to load Ria. So primary key of Ria is 4. It will return back customer object, and we want accounts. Which account? We want Ria to have account number 5, this account, which means this customer has to be placed right here. So we have to load these accounts, which is 5. Accounts 5. Now by using accounts object, we are going to use setter method. So set customer. Cust is representing customer, and it is taking a parameter as customer. So in argument, we are providing cust. In this cust, we are loading the 4th customer, and then we are using accounts and using setter method to add this 4th customer to this account. if we are going to run this, okay, you can see customer is going to be as it is, update statement is issued, accounts. So now what happened? Ria, one customer, Ria, has two accounts, account 1 and account 5. Account 1, Ria, customer Ria has account 1, and also we have customer Ria account 5. So this is how you do one-to-many association mapping. Now what? Now it's time to access. We want to read. We created update. We did create. So in CURD operation, we already did create. We have done update. Let's do the read. So copy and paste it simply. We are doing read operation. In read, okay, suppose it's already loaded. So we have to read. When we have to read, we have to first load. Even if we have to update or we have to delete, then first we have to load that particular value. If we want to update, delete or read, then we have to load first this row. Or even if we want to do update, delete or read, then we have to load that particular row. So right now we are loading account 5, or maybe we are loading account 5. So with account 5, we can get account number, AID, class, customer, IFC code. So let's do that. With account, we can get AID, likewise we can get account numbers, we can get IFC code, and we can even get, you can see here, with the account we can get customer. We can also get customer from the accounts. We are able to get customer from the account side. So for that, let's provide two strings so customer will get printed. Okay. If we are going to run this, then everything will get printed in the our console. So we got AID of this account 5, we got account number, and we got IFC code, but we didn't got customer. Because we didn't got customer, we didn't use the SOP statement. Now you will get the customer also. We got customer right here. So what is happening? With the account object, we are able to get the customer. You can see here, the information of customer is here. We loaded the account 5, and with this account object, right here it is object, we are getting the customer. So the corresponding customer is for Ria. You can see for Ria email. So with the help of account, from the account side, you can say here, from the account side, we are able to get the customer. So what it is right now unidirectional. we have multiple accounts and customer, it is unidirectional because we can only access the another entity from one way. So from account side can access customer. So it is unidirectional. Remember the directionality. So association mapping is divided into further two parts on the basis of directionality, which is unidirectional and bidirectional. And it doesn't mean anything. It's just the way in which you can access the other element. If you can only able to access from one way, from account to customer, then it is unidirectional. And if you are also able to access from customer to accounts to customer to account, then it will become bidirectional because from both sides you can access each other. So let's say, can we access from customer to accounts? Let's comment this. Let's load RIA. From the account 5, we have loaded right here. We are accessing the customer. But can we load the RIA and we can access the corresponding accounts? Let's do that. So RIA's primary key is this. So what we want right here, session dot load and customer class RIA is at 4. Customer C. So C dot get, we cannot get the accounts. Look, there is the getter method for getting CID, get CNAME, get email, get phone. So CID get, we can get the CID, we can get the CNAME, email and phone. We can get these things, but we cannot get accounts. But from the account side, we are able to getting AID. You can see here. Right here, we are getting AID, account, IFC code. On there is also get a customer. So we are getting AID, account, IFC code, and we are also able to getting the customer from the account side. Why that? Because here we mentioned customer. In accounts, we have mentioned a field customer. That's why we can access from the accounts customer. But in customer, there is no field called accounts. So let's make the field. Right now, there is no field for accounts, which means we cannot access accounts from customer. Here, we have customer, and if we are trying to access accounts, we don't have any setter getter methods. We can only access the fields that are in customer. We cannot access accounts from the customer. For that, first we have to insert the account field in the customer. We are in customer, we have to insert the account field, because in accounts we already have customer field right here. So also in customer we have to insert the account field. It is accounts, suppose ACC, and on top of that we have to write. So first of all, what is going to happen is one customer is going to have multiple accounts. So we have to use set or list or collection, because it is going to have multiple. So suppose you are using list, and this list is going to be of type accounts, because one customer is going to have multiple accounts. One customer is going to have multiple accounts. So those accounts are going to be in one list because it is multiple accounts. or maybe set. So on top of that, now from the customer side, from the account side, it is many to one. From the account side, there's many accounts, but there is only one customer. So it is many to one. Is many to one. But from the customer side, it is going to be one to many accounts. So just write one to many on top of accounts. One to many. And in this, you have to say mapped by cust. So again, remember what we did in case of one-to-one association mapping. What this line is saying is, saying to Hibernate is that at accounts class, there is reference variable for customer, which is cust, C-U-S-T. At accounts, there is reference variable for customer, which is cust. You can see here, there is cust. And at that place where there is cust, we already have written mapping strategies. So take those strategies from there. Again, what we are doing right here, we are telling Hibernate that at account, because this tag is on top of accounts, at account there is customer reference where we have provided mapping strategies. So just take those strategies from there. We don't have to write everything, all this right here. We just tell that at account there is a reference for this customer class. Take the strategies, mapping strategies from there. So now what will happen? We will become able to access the accounts from the customer side. You remember, we loaded the customer, but when we are trying to getting the address, we are not able, because at that time it was only unidirectional. But by this line of codes, we made it bidirectional. But even now we can't use like get address, because there is no get address setter method. For that, we have to create one setter and getters for address, not address, for accounts. And again, we have to load everything from scratch. We have to create all accounts again. Suppose we are dropping the database, creating database, and using that database, then we have to insert these datas inside our table. But at this time, suppose for account 1, we are assigning customer exactly at the time when we are inserting accounts. So for this account, we are providing customer. So this customer is going to have this account. But we also want, suppose this fourth account belongs to customer 4. So this customer 4 is going to have this account as well as this account. And just leave the other, you can try that by your own. Let's run this. So Ria customer is going to have 2 accounts, which is BKID 55 and this CN ID 55. Select customer, select address. Address doesn't exist, not address, it is accounts. Is it address? No, it is account. So here we are. Accounts. So Ria has two accounts, which is account 1 and account 4. And also how we separate the primary key generation for both tables, that inside this customer table it is starting from 1, and also in the accounts it is starting from 1. We have to use identity in the place of auto. So right now you can see Ria have two accounts, 1 and 4. And what we are doing is we are trying to access accounts from the customer, but let's do it from scratch. So we have account 5, and we are trying to get the customer from the account, but account 5 don't have any customer. So let's change it to the account 4. Suppose we are loading account 4, and with this object we are trying to get the customer using get customer. So for this account we will get his customer, his corresponding customer, which is Ria. So here we are using getter method. We will get Ria for this account. If you run this, you are getting Ria. We are getting Ria from the accounts. We have accounts and we are getting customer from that. But can we get the address from the customer? Suppose we have customer Ria, and can we get the address that Ria have? Maybe a single address or multiple address. So here you can see Ria is holding multiple accounts, not address, accounts. So get address, yes, not address, accounts. So we are trying to get accounts. Let's put setter method right here, not setter method, toString method. So from the customer we are trying to get the accounts. From the address, from the accounts, we already get the customer, and now from the customer we are trying to get the accounts. Let's run this. So there should be two accounts going to get fetched, account number 1 and account number 4, because Ria have two accounts. So account number 1, Ria have account number 1 and also account number 4. Here you can see. So now it becomes bidirectional. Previously, when we are trying to get accounts from customer, then we are not able to do that. When we are trying to getting the accounts from customer, then it is not showing options because we didn't mention accounts in customer. So at that time it was unidirectional, because only from accounts we are accessing the customer, but we were not able at that time to access the accounts from the customer. But when we made changes, we added these lines and telling hibernate that at accounts we already have provided mapping strategy at cust reference variable, then it become bidirectional. So also from the customer we are able to access the accounts. So from both sides, when we are able to access other entities, then it is bidirectional. So it becomes bidirectional. So first you have to go through association mapping type based on cardinality, means one to one, one to many, many to many. Cardinality basically means number of objects participating in database operation or persistence operation. So first you have to see one to one, one to many, and many to many, and then inside that you can do unidirectional and bidirectional accessing. Unidirectional and bidirectional accessing. If you are able to access accounts from customer and you can't access customer from accounts, then it is unidirectional. But when you are able to access accounts from customer and customer from accounts, then it is bidirectional. So we have seen one to many association mapping. How we are going to do one to many association mapping? We are going to maintain column in the account side. In the account side, and for that column is going to be in foreign key relationship with the customer primary key. Why? Because if we are going to maintain the column primary key, we are going to maintain primary key in the customer side. Then suppose here is the my accounts, we are maintaining the column. So we want for customer 1 to have multiple accounts. So he is going to have account 4, and then we also want him, customer 1, to have account 5. Then how you are going to write it right here? You can't write it like this. That's why we are maintaining foreign key in the account side. So the column is my customer. The column is my customer, which is in relationship of foreign key with CID. CID of customer. My customer, we made a column in this account table which is in relationship with primary key CID of customer. So now we have multiple accounts 4, 5, 6, and for fourth account we want to this account to belong to customer 1. Then we are going to load this account, this customer 1 and account 4. Then using setter method we are going to set this account. So we have account 1 right here. For fourth account we have customer 1. Customer 1 have 4 account number 4. But we also want customer 1 to have account number 5, because one customer can have multiple accounts. One customer can have multiple accounts. So customer 1 have 4 number account, but we also want customer 1 to have another account. So we loaded account 5, we loaded customer 1, and by using the setter method we loaded the customer 1 right here. You can see we loaded account 5. We are loading account 5, here it is, and by using that account object we are using setter method, set customer, and inside this customer parameter we are passing set customer parameter cust. So inside cust reference variable we have customer 1. So this is how you can establish one-to-many association mapping. So I think you got the idea. We have done CURD operation, create, we have created, we have updated, we have read, and you can also do delete. First you have to load the corresponding class corresponding table of customer or corresponding row of customer or corresponding account of customer. Let me show you. Let's do the delete operation real quick. Delete. Suppose we are loading customer 4. At customer 4, you can see at customer 4 have 2 accounts. Customer 4 have 2 accounts. 2 accounts. So if we are going to delete session.delete, then what should have to be happen? If we are deleting customer, then these corresponding accounts must have to be get deleted. Otherwise, what will be the use of these accounts? For that, we have seen this also in case of one-to-one association mapping. For this, at the time when you are writing many-to-one or one-to-one association mapping annotation, then you have to write here cascade type all. Now if we are going to delete that customer, then his or her corresponding accounts are also going to get deleted. So for that, let's run this code. There is an exception, and exception says cannot execute this statement, cannot delete or update parent row of foreign key const. Why? Because in database, suppose customer is foreign, not customer, account is foreign key, account is master table, because we are maintaining this column my customer right here. We are maintaining foreign key in accounts, so account become master table. If we are deleting something from the master, then first that have to be get deleted from the child. Even if we are inserting something in the child, suppose we are inserting something in child, then that should have first available inside the master. So in this case, we also have to provide this cascade in the child. Now that should have to be work. Let's see. Yes, it got deleted. What we did? We are deleting customer. So is that his corresponding accounts also got deleted? Customer 4 got deleted. Customer 4 got deleted. Is that customer 4 corresponding accounts is also got deleted? Yes, her account is also not available. It also got deleted. So we performed CURD operation, create, update, read and delete operation. In read, we have seen unidirectional and bidirectional. Unidirectional and bidirectional obviously means that if you are able to access from both sides of the object or from the only one side of the object, if you are only accessing from, you are able to only access from the one side, and it is unidirectional. If you are accessing from the both side, you are able to access from the both side, then it become bidirectional. So how to make bidirectional? You know how to make it bidirectional. So the next topic is one-to-many association mapping. We have seen one-to-many association mapping. Next topic we have is many-to-many association mapping. We have covered one-to-one association mapping, inside which we know unidirectional and bidirectional. We have covered one-to-many association mapping, inside which we also know unidirectional and bidirectional. In case of one-to-many, we know unidirectional and bidirectional. Now the another topic, last association mapping type, is many-to-many association mapping. We are going to do the overview for many-to-many association mapping in next video. So stay tuned.